Hello, my name is Tamathy. I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I'm the oldest of 21 children. There are 12 girls, 9 boys, no twins, same parents. And a lot of you might think that 21 kids is a lot of kids, and you'd be right. It is a lot of kids. It's a lot of everything, a lot of arms and legs and eyeballs and hair, a lot of hair. But you might think that it's too much. I don't know if it's too much, it's my only experience. But it was an abundance. And because we had abundance of kids, we had an abundance of a lot of other things too. We had a lot of injuries, we had a lot of loose teeth, we had a lot of animals, we had a lot of cats, we had a lot of food, we had a big house with not a lot of beds, but we had a lot of people in those beds. When I was growing up, I shared a bed with 3 of my sisters, but a lot of times there would end up being a lot more than that in the bed by the end of the night. I would wake up, and because there would be feet all over me, like feet from all different directions, I couldn't tell what bodies they were connected to. And I would just start like pushing all those feet off of me, get off of me, get off of me. And I would get up, and then I would just start hauling bodies. It was the middle of the night, and I was so tired, and it was so hot in Missouri, but I would just start dragging these bodies off the bed. I didn't care about where their heads hit. I didn't care what happened. I just drug them off the bed and threw them on the floor and made myself a space. And I dreamt of someday having a bed with no one else in it but me. And then eventually, I went away to college. And I had a bed to myself. And it was so empty. And I was so lonely. And I had to get a bunch of pillows and put all around me because it was so weird. I felt unsafe without feet and elbows and people poking me. So I got all these pillows, and then I had to get a radio because it was so quiet. There wasn't enough noise. There was always noise. At least everyone breathing, that many people breathing in a house, plus all of the cats. We each had about 3 cats apiece. So you had all these cats in bed with you to keep you warm, and all the cats breathing, and all the people breathing. And then the babies crying, and waking up, and getting down, and going to sleep, and my mom pacing, and my mom feeding kids, and all night, and so I had to put the radio on when I left. I had an abundance, and I've thought about that because I thought about how hard it is to be happy. I thought about, at different times in my life, I had more strawberries than I could possibly eat. So many strawberries, because my parents, all of these kids, they hired us out to pick strawberries. It was a great job. We would pick strawberries, and we'd eat strawberries, and we'd get to bring half the crop home. And we were so excited at first, but then we just had strawberries everywhere, too many strawberries. And you hated the strawberries. And then there were the tomatoes, so many tomatoes. And I've been so lucky in my life to have so much that I was sick of it. Too many cats, too many tomatoes, too many potatoes, too many oranges when I went to Japan. But it doesn't matter how many you had then, because right now I have no tomatoes. My family in Missouri has all of the heat, and they have all of the tomatoes. And are they happy? No, because it's too hot and there's no rain. And they look at me and say, you have all the cool and all the rain. And I say, you have all the tomatoes. Because it doesn't matter how many you had at one point in your life. If you don't have it now, you're hungry for it and you long for it, you can never get enough. Too much and never enough. I remember when I was a kid, I got to go to Disneyland with my cousins. And this was a huge deal because I never got to go anywhere. And I got to go to Disneyland with my cousins, the only kid in my family that did. And I was so excited and I was so good. Until they started to give me ice cream, until they started to give me anything I wanted, and I was instantly spoiled. I was a brat. I wanted an invisible dog, and they wouldn't buy one for me, and I was a brat, and I threw a fit, the first tantrum I'd ever thrown in my life. Because before that, I was happy to have a strawberry or tomato or some space in the car. But now that I had all of this, I wanted more, more, more. It was never enough. And I couldn't believe I was surprised at myself that I got spoiled so fast. And I'm the same way today. I want tomatoes, and I want more and more and more, and I want more cats, and I want more stuff, just like my parents. But I'm careful. I only have 4 kids. Because I feel that feeling, but I lived it and I've learned. So I hope you can too. Learn to be happy. Learn what's enough.